right, so my name is Jeff. I'm the Director of Safety with Fortune Transportation. Thanks for joining us today. It looks like today I've got David Brown with us. He's an over-the-road driver out of Roswell, New Mexico. And I'm just going to ask a few questions to David here, and we're going to move forward. Okay? So, David, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Good. I just arrived from Roswell.
Is there?
Yeah, came up here and you're on a
In the
regular
rain and in the wind.
Okay, good. So we'll start out with a couple of questions, and you want to tell us a little bit about where you're from, where you're based out of?
Well, I'm based out of Roswell, New Mexico. I pretty much lived in Carlsbad, New Mexico all my life. I don't get much home time because when I'm at home, that's my home away from home because my truck's my home.
Okay. And how long you been with Fortune?
I've been with them about 3 years and 3 months.
Okay.
And I love this company. This is the third over-the-road company I've been with. And this is a family-oriented company. And when you call in, they treat you like you're a person instead of when you call in some of the other trucking companies, your number.
Okay. So getting to the safety end of it in particular, why is safety important to you directly?
Well, if I get injured, I cannot work. If I wreck the truck and they don't have a spare truck for me to drive, I'm out of work until they get my truck fixed. I know accidents do happen. For a couple of years ago, I had a guy turn left in front of me from the right-hand lane, and luckily that they had the parts. It didn't do too much damage to my truck, and they had the parts where they could get it going. But it also depends on the weather conditions. You want to prepare better for bad roads and icy roads. You always want to slow down in bad weather and road conditions. Try to get a good night's rest or good day rest before you go out. And also try to stay focused on the job that you're doing for the day. I know it's hard to put personal issues and personal problems on the back burner when you're out there driving, but you need to.
Right.
As long as you're behind that steering wheel, you need to focus on the day's driving.
Sure. Okay. All right, so what do you do on a daily basis to ensure that you're being as safe as you can?
I do a real good physical and pre-trip. I do a mental pre-trip, and what the mental pre-trip is I focus on my plan, where I'm going to be making my stops, and I try to get a good night's rest or a good day's rest before I take off.
Okay.
And try and stay in as good physical shape as what I can.
Okay. Have you found that can you think of anything that you personally can improve on to make the safety that it goes on every day better?
Try and get a big picture, and don't rush. When you get to a shipper or a receiver, do not rush getting in there and getting out, because when you start rushing, that's when you start making mistakes. That's when accidents happen.
Right. Okay. Have you ever had an event in particular, one single event that may have changed how you viewed safety? That was kind of a light bulb for you?
Well, yes. Besides that one that driver turned left in front of me from the right-hand lane, I was going to make a delivery, and I hit the roads that had been patchy, icy, and I hit a patch of ice, and the road curved back to the right, and my truck kept going left, and I ended up out in the farmer's field,
Okay.
and it woke me up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And from then on, I paid closer attention to the road conditions and to the weather conditions.
When did that occur?
Back in February,
February this year.
yes, sir.
Yep. I remember that event because you had actually just left the office here.
Right.
And we talked about it, and there were other things going on that day, and we had some other issues within the fleet, and you and I had conversations that day, and sure enough, shortly after he left the office, I get the phone call. So I do remember that day very well.
Oh, I do
myself.
too.
Yep. So do you have any suggestions possibly that you might be able to improve the safety department or the fleet in general?
Well, I think right now the only suggestion that I can think of is maybe sending out the dispatches quicker. That way we have better time and more time to plan for where we stop the night before, or if we're going to have to try and make it all the way to the delivery or to the pickup to start out the week. We need more time where we can do more planning.
Sure. Okay, well that's totally reasonable, and certainly nothing that we can't do on our end to
Right.
facilitate that. Well, I want to take the time to thank David for his time here for us today, and hopefully he'll increase his communication with us, and we'll take those suggestions and we'll move forward. So thank you, David, for your time.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it.